I had a quote from you when you said, "We're not going to lay. I'm not going to allow one of those boys to lay on me like a little fag."
Not 3 seconds and down.
And I go like, "Ooh."
And immediately to mount.
Now, if you fight a guy any heavyweight, and he will take you down, you're not afraid that he's going to extra hurt you.
Randy Couture has the mount immediately on James Toney. Teeing away.
Here's what it looks like when a champ boxer took on a champ UFC fighter.
I mean, this is what I kind of thought would happen, but I hoped it would be more competitive. He's going out. Let's go.
And watch quickly because it's going to end right about now. Got him sized up, Ray. It's pretty obvious. There is a difference between boxing and MMA. And before we go into the stand-up game versus the ground game and the striking and the kicking and all that, let's just break this right down.
A boxer, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 237 pounds, 18 wins, 10 losses, standing 62 inches tall, weighing in at 220 pounds.
So boxing, MMA, can both of these exist on their own? Is there a natural transition from boxing to MMA, perhaps more than any other sport? Because after all, we're seeing football guys get into it, some baseball guys getting into MMA. But what about boxers?
This man has held 11 titles in 5 different weight divisions. The only fighter to win 2 UFC championship titles 5 times and in 2 different weight classes.
Well, what about boxers? And 2 of these guys are leaning that way. Ray, I want to start with you first on this because you've actually had a taste, some kickboxing. You fought Kimbo Slice in an exhibition.
Round number 1, scheduled for 3. Oh! He catches Ray with a shot. Ray ties him up to grab Ray and drive him down to the canvas. There we go! He's so strong. He's actually got him inside control. How about this? They're on the canvas, and Ray's on top now. Look at this stuff.
Who would have said it would be Kimbo on the back with Ray Mercer in his guard? Boomer tapping out. Guillotine choke. Tap out win for Kimbo.
You knocked out Tim Sylvia to win your Bozzy Award.
I ain't know it was sleep.
So what have you noticed about MMA compared to boxing?
Compared to boxing, MMA, for one thing, you have got to be in hella shape. And you have to know the ground game. I mean, MMA makes boxing look kind of easy when it comes to the training because, you know, boxing you only training for one thing, that's the box, throw your fist. But when you're in there and you're in that cage and you got to go ground and ground and pound and all that, you got to do a lot of training. You know, I give MMA a lot of credit. I mean, me and my kids, we watch it 24/7, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it, so I can sit there and my kids can say I'm a beast, like he says about Kimbo and some other fighters.
Randy Couture. James lights out Toney.
Still brand new to the game, but I pick up things quickly.
Yeah, with me it was also, I was a striker and it came to an end. I remember myself saying, "Stand up, fight like a man."
The boxer, the mixed martial artist.
And I go like, okay, until they almost broke my leg in half with a knee bar. I go, okay, you gotta respect that kind of power. And some of the comments that you made are like heavy comments for some fighters. Like,
see how long it takes Randy to shoot.
I'm not even worried about that because the bottom line is, like KJ said, the game starts on top.
Yeah.
And despite what Freddie says, I have a very high knockout rating.
On the boxing champion.
Now, I got 4-ounce gloves on. In boxing, I win 10s. I'm a heavyweight.
Big deal.
Now, what I do? Now, what's gonna happen when I hit him with the 4 ounces before he comes at me?
Yeah, and James is giving up arms left and right. He's just hanging on.
Because he gotta shoot in at me. If he shoot in at me, I'm gonna step back. He gonna get lost with uppercut or left hook.
Not 3 seconds and down.
So either way, if I hit anybody on the chin with the small gloves, they ain't pay the electric bill and their lights is going out. I promise you that.
my first 2 fights were exactly like that until they realized I was a striker. And from that moment, I went to the ground.
Randy's going to soften him up and then go for submission.
Every time.
So that's why me and my camp, we working on the full package. Not just being a striker, working on, maneuvering out of armbar positions.
Who does not Love Randy Couture. Randy smothering James, too, not giving him any room to breathe.
Takedowns and everything like this. I'll be ready for any and everything when the time comes.
Ray was nodding when we talked about the differences, especially in that 6-ounce difference in the gloves, and how big a difference is that because you've worn both.
James is not hip escaping. He's not putting his hands like Randy's hips to push off.
Here's what it looks like when a champ boxer took on a champ UFC fighter. And watch quickly because it's going to end right about now. Got him sized up, Ray.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it, man. It was great.
Randy's got grapevines in here, separating the legs of James.
Tony, I'm going to tell you like this here.
I'ma sue you.
For 4-ounce gloves on, if you land first, let me tell you something. He's going.
Oh, yeah.
He's going. If you land first, he's going. But if you take it down to the ground, you got to learn that stuff. 'Cause I'm going to tell you.
He's just beating him up here.
That's the main thing, Ray. That's why I got to learn from other people's mistakes.
Yep.
And to go into the game with the full package. Because, you know, I respect the game.
Trying to work the midsection from the bottom is Tony.
You know, knocking out Tim Sylvia may have made my head get a little big.
Like that.
You know, a little bit, yeah, like this right here. But I'm gonna tell you, if I connect with him first, and I'm learning some ground game, and I know how to sprawl. I can get him when he comes in. I know how to keep him from taking me down. Thanks to Boss Rutan with Kimbo, he told Kimbo, "You better take him down."
Take it out. I said, cross your hands in front of you and walk straight in him. I said, take him boxing away.
That totally took me by surprise because I thought Kimbo was one of those. You know, I seen him on the street doing these, so I thought automatically he would do these.
Yeah,
this was
smart.
the pride thing. When he got in there, he came in there, he started off a little bit, and then he took me down. I couldn't believe I was going down actually. I was scared to death going down because I was training then, but I wasn't as good as I am now. Now it would be a little different.
Let me ask all you guys this right now, because I'll start with you, Boss, because you're the great striker that learned the ground game. There's always the speculation, especially with the boxer, when a guy's shooting in on him, as well as the sprawl, there is the uppercut that we don't see as much in MMA. But a pro boxer can throw an uppercut.
James is trying to force his forearm into Randy's face, but Randy's just smothering him and punching him in the face over and over again, and I don't think James is going to be able to stop it.
That if you've watched guys at the level of Tony and Mercer, you know what an uppercut is compared to some uppercuts.
It will be that's the best punch for a boxer, for any striker to throw on an MMA fighter if they shoot in.
He puts in in UFC.
Love this. 90 seconds into the fight.
I see blood. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Posturing up is Randy
Randy
Couture.
has so much confidence here.
Straight punch ain't gonna work because they're closing the distance at the moment. Yeah, you can't step back and punch at the same time, so the distance gets closer. You're jamming your own fist. You can't. But the uppercut is always there.
He can control position really from anywhere.
Tony trying to control.
Tony is really obviously a novice on the ground.
You know, and if it lands, you guys got him. It's over. It's lights out. But if they miss,
No, James doesn't even know what to do here with the cage, so Randy's going to push him up against it and smash him. When you get a skilled opponent, you don't want to get him close to the cage because you can wall walk and use the octagon.
that's what I always say. And that's what happened to me. That's why I'm just giving a heads up. Yeah, you know, but I just want, because the more you know, the more focused you are, the better you're going to do, of course.
Yeah. You got to prepare for that takedown. You got to prepare for
That's
it.
it. All the time. While you're doing the focus mitts, pop,
That's
pop,
right.
pop, let him shoot, let him shoot, let him shoot
That's
the
right.
whole time.
Couture smothering Tony.
He's so confident that he doesn't mind it.
It's probably easier to make the transition if you're middle-aged or younger from boxing to MMA because you know how to box already, you got one aspect of it down. Now you just got to go learn another. Boxing, on the other hand, to become a complete boxer, you need a lot of experience in it. So if you just up to date and say, okay, I want to be a fighter, you're not going to just be a boxer. It's going to take you a while to be a legitimate boxer.
Roy Jones Jr. weighs in by saying that he thinks it's easier to transition from boxing to MMA.
He's talking. He needs to get in there. He needs to go through some of the training to see how really tough this. I'm a boxer, and I got power. I got power in my punches and everything. But it's a whole different ball game when your knees and your back is on the canvas. You know, you got no referee over you saying, hey, keeping that guy off you. That guy's gonna come. He see you go down. He's coming after you, and he's gonna tie you up in all kind of knots. You gotta be prepared for that. I mean, you gotta have you gotta have more respect for these MMA fighters than what most people are you know, giving these guys. Like I said, I'm a boxer. I love my boxing game. That's all I know. And I'm like James Toney. I'm an athlete. I can do everything. I'm gonna try to be the best at everything. And being that, I'm gonna have to realize that it ain't gonna be as easy, and I'm gonna have to get in there and train in doing what they do. I'm gonna have to do what they do instead of them doing my boxing thing. I'm gonna have to learn what they do, the ground game, in order to compete in this sport.
I mean, this is what I kind of thought would happen, but I hoped it would be more competitive.
In order to hit somebody, you have to close the distance.
Exactly.
And at the moment you close the distance, that's where they lower themselves and they shoot and they try to catch that moment. Sometimes you see those beautiful takedowns, somebody punches and they shoot underneath and they take it down.
So
that's
fast.
the moment they're waiting for.
So fast.
Again, now he's got it locked in, looking to finish it again, Joe. Can Tony survive? Well, they're telling Tony to push down on his hand, which is a way to do it. Push that elbow position.
Well, all you gotta do is put up and shut up. You know, hey, it's time. If you really want to do this, just do like I did. Because Dana, like I said, Dana called, boxed up, and I stood up for us.
But Randy's got it closed off. Now he's got to defend by putting it against his ear. He's going out, and it's over.
You know, go to him for the leg. Let him fight Anderson Silva. I'm pretty sure Anderson Silva want to fight up. You know what I'm saying? So make it happen. If you think you can do it, come over here and do it. Come get some.
The natural couture.